Good morning, students. This class is addressed for the students of BCA Section B and BSC.CS students of 4th semester. So, today we will be dealing with time management. So, time management is actually can be called as self-management. The skills that we need to manage other works are the same skills that are required to manage ourselves. They can be ability to plan, organize, direct, and control. So, time management is the process of organizing and planning how to divide your time between specific activities. And good time management enables you to work smarter but not harder. Okay, so that you get more work done in less time, even when time is tight and pressures are high. So falling to manage your time damages your effectiveness and causes stress. Okay, so you understood that the term time management should not be misunderstood. Okay, as time can be managed. In fact, by time management, what we mean is we need to manage ourselves according to the time. Okay, now I'm going to the next slide. This is the 80-20 rule. Okay, what is that? An Italian economist called Vilfredo Pareto discovered this principle. This 80-20 rule states that the relationship between input and output is rarely balanced. Okay, so when applied to work, this principle is applied to work, it means that approximately 20% of your efforts produce 80% of the results. So learning to recognize and then focus on that 20% is the key to making the most of effective use of your time. So according to Pareto principle or this 80-20 rule, 80% of unfocused effort generates 20% of the results. Understood? And the remaining 80% of the results are achieved with only 20% of the effort. Understood what I meant by the 80-20 rule? Now, these are the 4 boxes which you can see. These 4 boxes are called quadrants. Okay, and I can define the whole 4 boxes into the matrix of time management. So now we will learn what time management matrix is and what are the 4 quadrants of the time management. So what is a quadrant? A quadrant is one of the 4 equal parts into which a circle or any other shape can be divided. Now the matrix. Okay, so people do things differently. The way of doing things is different from one people to another. But do you know what most of us have in common? Like, what do the most or what do? We do the most urgent things first, not considering if it is the most important, right? But this is normal because this is the way how things are usually done. So as you can see on the screen that there are 4 quadrants. Okay, the first quadrant, the yellow box, it is the first part or the first important thing. So the first thing which matters are important and urgent. Okay, so these are the things such as crisis, emergencies, or deadlines, and this is the point to analyze how important matters should be addressed before they become urgent to avoid stress and conflict. Understood this yellow part? This is the important part. Like which is very important, like crisis, emergencies, deadlines. And if we start managing this part beforehand, then stress and conflict won't occur. Okay. The second part, or the second box, the red box, what does this red box signify? Signifies what matters that are important but not urgent. Okay. So this is where you should focus and spend your time on. It is all about planning, understood? And this is a quadrant of opportunities, like opportunities to learn, to improve yourself or your relationship with people, and seeing what is in store for you. Understood the second quadrant? Now comes the third quadrant, the green one. The third, matters that are not important but urgent. Previous one was important but not urgent, and this one is not important but urgent. Understood the difference? So we tend to focus on matters that are urgent without thinking if it is important. The problem with this is we lose track of the important matters. There is something different between important and urgent, right? So we should keep in mind that. And lastly, the blue quadrant here. What does matter here? Here matters those things which are not important and not urgent. Neither important nor urgent. Obviously, these are what they call, or we call, time wasters. Thus, these are mostly matters you should not spend so much time on, like getting busy with your phone or wasting time here and there. Understood? So you should not spend much time in doing this, right? So this is the time management matrix consisting of the 4 quadrants, in which the first one was which is important. Okay. The second one was which is important but not urgent. What was the third one? The third one was not important but urgent. And the fourth one is neither important nor urgent, where we waste our time. So understood the time management matrix? Now, what are the activities or what are the tips how we can manage our time? Like the first point which we can remember here is if we find out where we are wasting our time. Okay, so many of us waste a lot of time without doing any productive work, right? We do like this. So we often waste our time surfing the internet, reading email, Facebook posting, texting, or making personal calls. So we have to find out how much time we waste on daily basis, and it is the first step to effective time management. Understood? The second point which we can keep in our mind is if we can create time management goals. Like always, we have to remember that the focus of time management is actually changing our behavior, not changing our time. Time cannot be changed, right? It is limited to 24 hours. So what we can do, we can change our behavior. A good place to start is by eliminating our personal time wasters. So you have to start this by at first setting your goals. What are the things which you have to do, like making a to-do list? Understood? Now the third point is implementing a time management plan. Okay, so think of this as an extension of the previous time management tip that I already gave you, like creating some time management goals. So the objective behind implementing a time management plan is to change your behavior over time to achieve whatever general goal you have set for yourself, such as increasing productivity or decreasing your stress. Understood? So, apart from setting up your goals, you have to track them over time to see whether or not you can accomplish them. Understood the third point, how can you can manage your time? Now, the fourth way how you can manage your time is to prioritize. You should know how to prioritize things. You should know how to prioritize one, whereas keeping aside another task. So you should start with each day with a session prioritizing the task for that particular day and setting your performance benchmark. Like for example, if you have 20 tasks for a given day, suppose, okay, so how many of them do you truly need to accomplish first? Okay, so you have to understand that among those 20 tasks, how many are there which you should prioritize or which you should do first? Understood what is prioritizing? And now the fifth way how you can manage your time is to learning how to delegate or outsourcing. Now, what is that? What is delegating tasks or outsourcing? So delegation is one of the hardest things which you can learn. No matter how small your business or how small your work is, there is no need for you to be the one person show. Okay, what does that mean? It means that you need to let other people carry some of your load. Delegation is sharing your tasks or appointing some of your work to somebody else so that you can make the most of the time that you have along with you. Okay, understood? Now, next is try to establish routines and stick to them as much as possible. If crisis comes, then you will be much more productive if you can follow routines most of the time. So you should also get the habit of getting some time limits for tasks and make sure that all your logistics are well organized. Understood? So these are the primary ways how you can manage your time. Now, why do you think why time management fails? We are often in a situation where we are all messed up, we are overstressed with the work, we are loaded with everything is haphazard around us. So why does this happen? What do you think? There are few factors, which let us or which withdraws us from finishing a work within time, like failing to make a to-do list, okay, failing to prioritize, some distractions like phone calls, Facebook, someone is sick at your home, okay, understood. Then getting overstressed, I'm overloaded with the work which I already have. Then when I'm overloaded with the work, I try to or I tend to multitask. Now, multitasking is another factor which hinders in completion of any particular task. If I suppose if you complete one task at a time, this process is more organized than multitasking. In multitasking, you do not have a record of which work you have completed and which are the works which are still left. Understood? Then, if you do not set a personal goal, that is also a major factor behind the failure to time management. Understood? So, time management is up to this. In the next lecture, we will learn one another managerial skill. Thank you.